All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about Bitfarms, stock ticker BITF. They're a Bitcoin mining company. We talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin miners all the time on this channel. Bitfarms just put out their September operational report. I think there's some big stuff hidden in that report, and I think there's a big story going on here with Bitfarms. I believe a lot of people are missing this. Bitfarms traded under $1 this week, so I want to talk about if it's going to get worse before it gets better, or is it going to get better at all. First, I want to ask everybody if you could please smash the like button. I'm going for 350 likes on this. I really would appreciate it if you would smash the like button. And also, if you're new to the channel, if you have not yet subscribed, please remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Okay, let's talk about Bitfarms. So I'm taking a look at where they finished yesterday, which was Wednesday. It was under $1 at 0.9927 cents. They did get all the way down to about 94 cents yesterday. So later when we get to the chart, you're going to see this is a massive pullback. I do think there's a lot of room to the upside. We're going to go through the charts later and talk exactly what's going on there. But first, I want to go through their monthly operational report. I want to talk about a couple of really big things that are going on with Bitfarms. So this came out on Monday, October 2nd. Bitfarms mines 411 Bitcoin in the month of September 2023. So that is more than they mined in the month of August. And September has one less day than August. So this was extremely efficient month for them. I think these were really good results, but let's dig a little deeper. That's just the top line number. Let's see what's actually going on here. Okay, fully energized Rio Cuarto at 51 megawatts, expanding total operating capacity to 233 megawatts. They intend to expand that rather significantly, and they talk about how they want to do that. Okay, increase their hash rate 9%, and that's month over month, to 6.1 exahash, so that's their all-time high exahash. Improved energy efficiency to 36 watts per terahash with new 28 watt per terahash miners. Okay, the 36 watts per terahash, or joules per terahash as it's put in a lot of other Bitcoin miners. I want to talk about that number because I do think that's freaking out a lot of investors. I want to show you what other Bitcoin miners are doing, and Bitfarms gets into this a little bit more in this report, and I'm going to reference a few other things. I'm also going to tell you what I think is going to happen to that number over the course of the next 12 months. This is from Jeff Morphy, the CEO. We continue to believe that many of our best opportunities for growth and investment will arise around the next Bitcoin halving, expected to occur in April of 2024. To this end, we are focused on infrastructure and balance sheet strength to provide the financial flexibility to move aggressively when conditions for growth are optimal. We continue to pay down our debt, closing September with under $10 million of outstanding indebtedness, all of which is scheduled for repayment in advance of the halving. So they are going to go into the halving with zero debt. I think this is very important. This is a company that had well over $100 million of debt, last summer, the summer of 2022. So they have gone through some drastic changes already. They're almost done getting rid of all of that debt. They've done very little dilution. Over the course of the last year, they've diluted about 25% versus a lot of the other Bitcoin miners. That's a fairly low number. And, they got rid of $100 million of debt in the middle of all that. Okay, this from Ben Gagnon, Chief Mining Officer. As the farm in Argentina becomes fully energized, our Bitcoin production was 411 in September, up 7.3% from August of 2023, even with a 2.7% network difficulty increase in the month. So executing on our comprehensive fleet management strategy, we have further optimized our mining portfolio while bolstering our balance sheet in anticipation of purchasing the next generation of sub 20 watts per terahash miners after the halving. The September installation of S19 Pro Plus miners in Argentina nearly doubled the number of sub 30 watt terahash miners in operation and shifted the fleet portfolio constitution. It's now comprised of 23% sub 30 watt per terahash miners, 58% 30 to 40 watt terahash miners, and 19% 40 to 45 watt terahash machines. The first thing that jumps right out at you is all these 40 to 45 watts per terahash machines are going to have to be retired after the halving. Those are just too inefficient. They also have 58% between 30 and 40. So all of this put together gives them right now 36 watts per terahash as a fleet. I want to show you a couple of numbers. If I go back to their January 2023 update, you're going to see see that in January of 2023, the entire fleet was at 40 watts per terahash efficiency. So remember, that 40 is now down to 36. And if you go back to January of 2022, it was at 44. I think they have a very legitimate chance of getting this number around 26 watts per terahash in the year 2024. That's based on my own personal calculations. They don't say that number, that is my number, but they do talk about focusing on increasing their fleet efficiency. This is going to have a dramatic impact on the fleet overall. All right, they then go on to say, as expected, we are now well positioned to leapfrog over the XP generation entirely and strategically layer in the new sub 20 watt terahash miners for both upgrades and expansion. They did not buy any of the XPs. Most of the Bitcoin miners out there that are publicly traded loaded up with the XPs. Those are very efficient machines. Bitfarms chose to wait, and they're now going to take even the next generation machine beyond that. So for their new expansion in the year 2024, they're going to have these latest and greatest machines. In addition to that, they're going to continue to swap out their older machines for these next generation machines. So this is going to rapidly get them in line from an energy efficiency standpoint with all the other Bitcoin miners that they're competing with. They're going to get their energy efficiency in line with all the other Bitcoin miners. But Bitfarms has long been, from an operational standpoint, the most efficient Bitcoin miner. Oftentimes they're tied for first in efficiency or alone in first place. So they're an extremely efficient company on top of that. So once they get these new machines installed, I think this is a formula for profitability. I think they're positioning themselves very well to go into the halving. However, investors don't seem to be agreeing with that. This stock went under $1 this week. They got as low as 94 cents on Wednesday. I don't know where it's going to go from here. Obviously, it could continue to go down if Bitcoin struggles, and Bitcoin has been bouncing up and down within a range, so we're going to have to see what happens. Obviously, in the short term, it's very hard to say what's going to go on with the price of this stock. In July of 2023, they put this press release out. Bitfarms secures contracts in Paraguay for up to 150 megawatts of hydropower. So this is a part of their future. 150 megawatts. Remember, they're at 233 megawatts as an organization right now. So adding 150 megawatts of hydro in Paraguay is going to be a big part of their transition to both diversify themselves geographically and implement a lot of these more efficient machines. They are once again using hydropower. So the vast majority of what they do, everything except for Argentina, is hydropower for Bitfarms. Then a month later, on August 7th, they put this out. Bitfarms initiates deployment plan for 50 megawatts of hydropower in Paraguay. So they have a total of 150 megawatts under contract. The first 50 they plan on rolling out in 2024. This is going to be a big step towards increasing their efficiency of their fleet, decreasing their cost per coin, and obviously increasing their exahash as they continue to get closer and closer to the halving. So they are at 6.1 exahash right now. I want to show you this slide from their investor presentation. You can see their current target allocation. This is their 230 megawatts they have right now. Most of this is in Quebec in Canada, so that is where they originated. That's where all of their Bitcoin mining was at one point. They added Argentina. They have 51 megawatts in Argentina. They do have an operation in Paraguay up and running as we speak. They also have an operation in the US. So right now, these are smaller parts of their puzzle, but you're going to see they're looking to go from 230 megawatts to 500 megawatts. They do not have anything specific called out to date on what they're doing in the US beyond what they're already doing. So this is growth we do not yet have the details on, but you're going to see improved geographic allocation, increased footprint and hash rate, especially in strategic jurisdictions. So I believe that the transition from here to here is going to allow them, in my opinion, by the end of 2024, and again, this is my numbers, I'm reading into what they're saying here. I think they're looking to get to 7 or 7.5 exahash by the halving, and probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 exahash by the end of 2024. This is what I believe based on looking at all the information they put out, the press releases they put out, digging into this investor presentation. So I think that's what's coming for Bitfarms. In doing so, I think they're going to be able to increase their overall fleet efficiency down to, in my opinion, somewhere in the 26 watts per terahash range. There's a lot more growth in here. There's a lot of strategy going on behind the scenes without necessarily a lot of high profile press releases. This is a chart by market cap of all of the publicly traded Bitcoin miners as of last Friday, September 29th. and you're going to see Bitfarms was down here in 7th place at $292 million. Cypher, who they mine approximately the same amount of Bitcoin as, in fact, they mined more Bitcoin than them last month. Cypher is approximately double the market cap. You're going to see CleanSpark's about double the market cap. BitDeer is more than triple the market cap, and some of these are more than 5 or 6 times the market cap of Bitfarms. Although Bitfarms is not necessarily going to be as large as these top couple of companies, they will be one of the larger companies if they can get to 8 to 10 exahash. With all of that said, let's take a look at the chart and see what's going on here, because Bitfarms has had a gigantic pullback. Most of the Bitcoin miners since the middle of July, when almost all the Bitcoin miners had their high for the year 2023, there have been big pullbacks in these companies, and Bitfarms is no exception. If we look at the high that Bitfarms hit on July 14th of 2023, and that's basically the day that most of the Bitcoin miners hit their highs for the year 2023, Bitfarms was way up over $2, somewhere around $2.17. They're down 54% off of that high, and more importantly, you're going to see a green line here at around 98 cents. This line looks like it's providing a lot of support. If Bitcoin can have a run back up to the higher end of its trading range, right now it seems to be just about ready to break out, so there's no guarantee that that's going to happen. But if it can break out and get back up around 30 to 32,000, I think Bitfarms has a good chance of hitting a couple of these price targets that I'm going to show you. The first one is just back on August 29th, which was only 5 weeks ago. Bitfarms got up to $1.50. So the first thing is, I think this is an extremely realistic short-term price target. This would be a 50% increase in the price of their stock. So to me, that's an awful lot of upside. If Bitcoin can retest 31,800, that would be almost 120% increase in the price of Bitfarms stock. So I do think there's a lot of potential upside. Now, obviously, there's always downside. If we were to revisit the lows from March of this year, which was not that long ago, that's about 30% to the downside. And if Bitfarms really were to have big trouble and retest its lows from last November when the FTX situation happened, remember, that was about $15,500 for Bitcoin. There's the potential for about 60% to the downside for this company in the event that that happens. So obviously, it depends on what you think Bitcoin is going to do over the coming months. I think this operational update that Bitfarms put out had a lot of additional information that I was looking for. I think they did a good job explaining what their strategy is going into the halving and beyond. The short-term price action is very Bitcoin contingent, so we'll have to see what happens. But if things go the right way, there's the potential for, maybe anywhere from a 50% to 120% upside to this in a short window of time. I think between 30 and 90 days. Not financial advice. I'm not predicting that, and I'm certainly not telling you guys to buy this or sell this stock. Please do your own due diligence and invest carefully. I say that in every video because it is vitally important. So please be careful. These are extremely leveraged, extremely volatile plays, all these Bitcoin miners. So those are my thoughts on Bitfarms and their monthly operational update and where I think they're headed going into the halving and beyond. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and please remember to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.